Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor, and we are moving on, playing around with some of these priority assignments. We'll move on to Hollow Bliss, Conclave Message. We've received a curious request from a low-level Ordo associate. A pilgrim ship returning from the warp has been quarantined at the Imperial Void Station due to an unusual type of cranial parasite infection. At first glance, this might not concern the Inquisition, however the logs indicate no traces of any infection before entering the warp. Also, there's an obscure reference to this parasite in an Ordo's case file, but most of the material has been corrupted. Given the station is a high-profile Imperial outpost, the infection might be a diversion to hide some other insidious threat by the ruinous powers. Much of the security forces available have been tied up by the incident, so the possibility cannot be ignored. Examine the situation, investigate the pilgrims, and find out whether there is a threat. We've received a curious request. Blah blah blah. Yep. At first glance, yep. Oh, so that's the same thing I just read. Okay. Already several possible threats have emerged on the Void Station. Should we call back some of the security tied up with the Pilgrims? Withdraw half of the security to the protection of the Void Station. Reassign a third of the security to the unrest reported. Move a handful of patrols to investigate the sudden power outages. Alright. Imperial prefects of the station immediately put the returning enforcers to the task. The preliminary investigation found no leads regarding the power outages, but the incidents keep popping up at random. The Cult Mechanicus personnel has been assigned to these machine spirit as to assess the machine spirit of the subsection. In the meantime, the Ordo Churgians are dumbfounded regarding the nature of the parasitic infection. Examined subjects appear to be in good health and suffer virtually no ill effects. In some cases, the infection seems to even benefit the host. Trials are ongoing. Per Jurgen Gang. Our involvement in the matter is slowly becoming justified. We have identified a group of mutants standing amongst the pilgrims, and it is possible that they are the source of the infection, which support the theory of the warp-related biological anomalies. Unfortunately, these mutants swarmed the security deck upon discovery and obtained weapons. We must deal with them.
Maim the heretic, slay the treacherous Xenos, banish the fork-tongued demon spawn.
Alright, good. Keep moving up. Just exchanged one master for another. heal these guys. Come over here.
The Inquisitor must die!
Alright, good. We're even faster.
Perseverance favors the bold. Give them more death.
Down to the last 19 guys here.
Glorious carnage. You gave them death generously. My compliments.
Alright, the threat of the security deck has been pacified. A small splinter group is still unaccounted for, but the threat they pose is deemed minimal. It is still a mystery as to how they were able to gain control of the armory in the first place. All the ship personnel involved have been rounded up along the surviving mutants. Since we have sufficient living and dead subjects to examine, we can be certain that these mutants are not the source of the infection. In fact, their presence appears completely unrelated to the parasitic infection. We may, however, soon learn that the truth of the situation has developed soon learn the truth as a new situation has developed on the station. Oh, I think I read that wrong. Alright, the security contingent of the Void Port on the station suddenly started in mutiny, which escalated to armed insurrection. The reason for their actions is of yet unknown. Regardless, sedition against the Imperium will not stand. Restore the order. I think we can do that. I always like kind of seeing what their models look like. See what they all envisioned each of these things to look like.
Can't silence the alarm, I'll face some serious resistance. Not that I'm complaining.
Electros.
Soothing sound of silence.
Data transfer complete. Terminating access. We've got a good deal of information, but there's more. Locate other cogitator stations. Point of entry. Data transfer complete. Terminating access. We've got a good deal of information, but there's more. Locate...
Incoming gas attack. Time to leave this lovely place. Free again. Violence solves every problem. Kill the heretic.
Access. Transfer complete. Initiating noospheric data entombment. Mission is a success. End of log.
Let's just run over here real quick, make sure there's not a chest. Look like there is. Maybe there'll be some items. Nope, no items. The main body of the insurrectionists has been defeated and the rest scattered. They will no doubt cause further trouble before our pacification team hunt them down. Damage to the station is not severe, but the same cannot be said for their morale. Interrogations indicate that the mutiny was not planned in advance. It was rather the result of an internal dispute over which detachment gets to handle the customs procedures of the incoming trade. In the light of the development, the mutiny makes little sense. Facing summary execution for a moderate monetary gain is nothing short of insanity. At the moment, we have no explanation for the incident. Well, Drukhari are here, huh? As if we didn't have enough to deal with, another incident occurred. A Drukhari raiding party avoided all Imperial safety measures and boarded the station. The Dark Eldar are currently attacking the upper decks. They seem to be after a particular member of the Magistrate and have cornered him. Rescue the Magister and destroy the Xenos. Well, let's see what we can do.
Tactical noospheric network online. target has been barricaded behind a security door to avoid immediate extermination by hostiles. The door will be breached within a few Terran minutes. Violent intervention required to retrieve the subject alive.
Full embrace of no place at all, Captain.
I don't know if there's really like a few minutes before they open it up, or if that's just for dramatic effect. Usually it's pretty good about setting timers, like you have X amount until this gets here.
Barricaded position is about to be breached.
Shit.
Hostile elements are on the move. Make haste for a preferable outcome. Objective met. Transport the specimen to the marked coordinates for evacuation.
She decided to just all of a sudden run to the front lines with me there.
Operation complete. Subject retrieved in adequate condition. A most unlikely.
The beleaguered Magister is now safe, and the remaining Drukhari have retreated from the station. We did manage to capture their leader, who appears to be a powerful member of the Cabal. He is immediately isolated and taken aboard our vessel for interrogation. Apparently, the attacked Magistrate member has been in possession of a rare trinket, a smuggled artifact of Xenos origin, secreted away in fear of inquisitorial retribution. Turns out the smuggled jewel originated from a destroyed Drukhari raid, and the Cabalite has been in pursuit of the treasure for a very long time. His behavior seems extremely irrational, but all evidence indicates that he is indeed indicates that it is indeed the truth. Most perplexing. The case is now a serious concern. The power outages of the Void Station have been more frequent, and the whole series of minor troubles have cropped up with no apparent connection between them, which is even more concerning. The invading Xenos have been carriers of the same parasite that attracted our attention to the situation in the first place. It seems that this infection somehow induces irrational behavior in those who are not infected. An absurd conclusion for sure, but every other conceivable theory has been exhausted. One thing is certain: if we don't do something, the situation will deteriorate. What should our action be? Move the infected to an isolation location far from civilization? Expose all the infected to the strongest anti-parasitic agent available. Move the infected to an isolated location. Our agents have taken over the pilgrimage ship, and suitably remote ordo research site has been selected. Oh, okay. I thought that was the concerned one. Before departure, we have quarantined all station security personnel involved in the case. As an additional safety measure, a temporary quarantine of the station itself is also under consideration. The bizarre string of events continues to continue as we somehow attracted the attention of a Chaos warp ship en route to our destination. Astronomic augury data seems to suggest that they were diverted from the course in the warp, which made them retranslate into an Imperial real space. Moreover, the inhabitants of the ship turned out to be followers of Khorne and immediately launched an attack on us. The attackers are rampaging through the lower decks, including the sacred genitorium. Analysis indicates that a significant security force would be able to repel the assault, but we must ensure the intruders do not succeed in crippling the ship. Defend the plasma core annex. Yeah, I don't know, it's such a stupid weapon. Saw blade at the end of a sword.
There is no greater test to one's mettle than a fight against overwhelming odds.
What am I supposed
Hold
to do?
the perimeter.
Oh.
Face the onslaught wave after wave with everything you have. If you die, Inquisitor, die a good death. Thought out.
At your command.
God, what is with these waves?
At your command.
on.
Ready to fight.
Bueller.
Another wave beaten, but plenty more left to slay. Use every resource to reinforce the perimeter.
Ready to fight. Take it like a man, guardsman.
That's a bad one. He almost killed this guy.
The Emperor! Ready to fight. For the Emperor! For the Emperor!
Kill the heretic.
Oh, he killed my tarantula turret, bastard.
Recoil on please.
Alright, so there's gonna be one more guy attacking me. I'm not sure where though. Come on. Where are they? Not there.
For the Emperor!
Time to rearm and regroup your defenses, Inquisitor. The carnage is not over yet.
my gosh, this is some of the slowest frickin' waves ever.
Now you're ready to fight.
For the Emperor!
For the Emperor! Take it like a man, Scotsman! For the Emperor!
Charge, I say!
Charge! Onwards! Totalinger Guardsmen! Move! Move! For the Emperor!
Once again, the enemies of the Imperium failed miserably.
That was rather boring. I was standing around waiting for him to come to me. The Khorne worshippers have been defeated and their ship has been destroyed by our vessel. Unfortunately, the losses of the pilgrim ship are high, and that includes most of the infected pilgrims. Survivors have been rounded up and re-quarantined. The pilgrim... Final words. The pilgrim ship has reached the research site without further incident. The case has been transferred back to the Ordos branch back on the station. No new incidents have been reported. It is very difficult to evaluate this confusing case as we could not find any direct causality between the events of the infection itself. Hopefully a specialized savant team will be on site to explain the mystery? What? That's very unsatisfying end. I wonder if there's a different way to do this. And you get a better ending. Oh, nope, you can't go back and do it. It just, that's the end of it. I feel like there's got to be a better way of doing that. I can't imagine that's really the end. Mind Plague. Inquisitor. An unexpected incident occurred on the upper levels of a habitat spire when mercenaries inexplicably attacked a merchant guild. The armed militants are currently in the process of destroying the shrine of the Imperial Creed at the trade hall. The incident is flagged as a moderate threat by the mind-linked Ordo Scryers, and the assailants appear to be possessed by unsanctified malevolence. Contain the situation and uncover the motives behind the incident. Inquisitor. An unexplained incident occurred on the upper decks of the Habitat Spire when mercenaries and explicit... Oh, that's the one we already did. Alright, the situation demands immediate countermeasures while your deployment is in progress. Choose the sacred rite of engagement. Have the Adeptus Arbites move in with all haste and engage the attacker. Seal off the building and contain the situation. Use a ventilation system to release a tranquilizer agent into the area. Seal off the building to contain the situation. The violence is successfully contained inside the trade hall. The Arbites teams holding the perimeter are now considered collateral damage as we lost contact. Oops. Some time ago. Tactical Sensorium and Cogitator support is now operational. Field Butcher, Chirurgery, units are standing by to scour the area and process all available cadavers. Insertion to the incident site will be initiated on your mark. The crazed mercenaries massacred everyone in sight, and now they are wandering aimlessly at the incident site like fleshy, mind-scrubbed flesh drones. They are not standing down and still pose a clear threat. Orders execute the rites of terminal pacification. It's another rebel, guys. Boy, I feel like we failed that investigation. I feel like there's more with that Drukari. I just...
Xenos, demons, heretics. Enact the Emperor's will and purge the universe of their taint. Let hatred be our shield, and their blood our salvation.
Behind me there. Chaos boys over here. I've got another boss up here.
Is swinging our way. One last push and the victory is ours.
Kill the heretic!
Once again, the enemies of the Imperium failed miserably.
The mercenaries have been all put down like rabid beasts without any survivors. Field butcher surgery units are processing the corpse. Ordo servants are working on identifying the cause of the deviant behavior. Meanwhile, we have been alerted to other similar incident that is in process. This time, the unnatural behaviors affected the crew of a void ship. The Imperial Navy lost contact with the splash vessel shortly after it sent a distress signal. The last legible transcriptions describe an inexplicable mind plague that turned the crew into gore-thirsty maniacs. The case is clearly linked to the previous incident. Board the void ship, purge the afflicted, and scour the ship's data stacks for evidence. Yeah, these are all rebel guards here.
Electrospectral scanning revealed multiple entry nodes to the mnemonic network. Locate cogitator stations to gain access. May the Omnisire guide your hand. Point of end.
Fight me, guys.
Binaric extraction complete. The harvested data is secure. Injecting purge protocols to compromised node. Locate next station.
Sounds like a cannon getting charged.
Binaric extraction complete. The harvested data is secure. Injecting purge protocols to compromised node. Locate next station. Access. Objectives are met. All data sermons are now in inquisitorial custody. Praise the Omnisire.
The supply vessel is now under inquisitorial quarantine after the series of tests. The Ordo Medicae declared you untainted. We have also been able to harvest enough information to determine the cause of the incident's findings. All victims were exposed to a biochemical substance that triggered violent behavior. Said substance has been linked to an excommunicated member of the Adeptus Biologus who was involved in a weapon research that was later deemed heretical. All research personnel were terminated under the Edict of Obliteration, with the exception of 2 senior tech priests, one of them being our target. The investigation has led to an excommunicated Adeptus Biologus marked by termination on the Inquisition for dabbling in heretical research. We have located the hideout in the abandoned underground facility. The site is occupied by a mutant gang supported by Xenos mercenaries. Orders: initiate purge protocol. It's like we made one decision and then everything else is just kind of on autopilot here. Seems to be wide ranges about whether you get to make decisions versus just do multiple missions.
Between the stars, the ancient, unseen enemies of mankind wait and hunger. Be strong and give them no quarter.
Reloading.
How do I want to do this? these guys do not like fighting me. Oh, there must be a paint engine or something over here.
Their demise is your salvation, Inquisitor.
The Inquisitor must die! Obey or die! Kill the Imperial scum!
And we just like liquidated those guys. Not sure if there's still guys up here. There is one. Okay. Come over here.
Perseverance favors the bold. Give them more death.
Smash that!
You serve the Emperor well, Inquisitor.
The raid was successful. The mutants and Xenos mercenaries have been eliminated. The site turned out to be a chemical laboratorium that supplied forbidden and heretical substances to the criminal elements. Unfortunately, the rogue alpha biologist has escaped, but we have been able to compile a nonospheric profile on his whereabouts. It seems like a Drukhari cabal has taken him to a decommissioned void facility, which they use as a hideout. Subject: mysterious violence. The Deep Void facility in question was abandoned during a period of isolation enforced by Warp Storm centuries ago. A small but potent Dark Eldar cabal has turned it into a viper nest. That's what the Medusa looks like, huh? Viper's nest performing a range of insidious experiments, one of which involves the fugitive Adeptus Biologus. Orders erase all heretical and Xenos presence. So those are what those Earl ghouls look like. I was curious. Hopefully we'll eventually gain a level here too, because I would like to get to max level.
Maim the heretic. Slay the treacherous Xenos. Banish the fork-tongued demon spawn.
that was, but I wasn't going to ask any questions. Just getting swarmed like crazy.
Their demise is your salvation, Inquisitor.
God.
You are no Astartes, but you can certainly fight, Inquisitor. Once again, the enemies of the Imperium failed miserably.
The Void facility has been cleared of all hostiles. Some of the Drukhari have escaped using portal webway generators, but all of their operations have been terminated. The investigation has concluded the incidents on Wart and violence have all been caused by experimental chemical substance that was created. Irresistible sadistic urges in the victims. A laboratorium creating the substance has been dismantled and all the research material has been taken into custody by the Ordo. The Inquisitorial assets have been assigned to clarify the true nature of the Xenos involvement. There might be an underlying conspiracy far beyond the scope of the recent events. Alright. Do that. Nothing else too exciting there. Alright, well I'm going to call it quits here for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.